Hello everyone, today I am working with my client project and he buy Red Kingdom project and he tells me to implement ad inside that Red Kingdom project. So as you guys know, I totally give that source code for free, but he is not a developer, so he requests me for add some more feature like ad implementation. So here in Red Kingdom, this project I will use Monetag ads. So here you can see they have an entire skin or a new tab that name is ad, and a user can watch 10, and that can be up to you. If you want to give them 100 ad, the user can watch a day 100 ad, the user can watch it, no problem. You can set up that from server. So we need to make a system where user can do whatever they want according our command. Okay, so if user click on this button, he will be see ad, and after completing the watching ad, he will be get rewarded. That should be our native token reds, or that can be anything more, because that also can be set up from the server, the symbol or the project name. You know, that feature does not have on the free version that I have provided on my previous video, but in this source code that is supported. Like if I log in on this admin panel, okay, so if I log in here, you can see there have a setting that does not have in free version, and here you can see project name, symbol, icon, Telegram link, YouTube link, and everything, each and everything. Suppose the leaderboard size, if you want to show 100 user in leaderboard, you can show that. If you want to show 10 user in leaderboard, you can show that. That properly up to you, and that is on this app. If you want to buy this app source code, or if you want to do any customization on this mini app, then you can contact me on my Telegram. And if you just want the source code, then you need to wait a bit. For maybe 3 or 4 days, I will upload that source code on Code Cannon, so you can buy that from Code Cannon. But if you need that source code today, of course, let's have the ad feature, complete ad feature, then you can contact me on my Telegram, and I will give you that. Of course, that is paid. So let's move on. So what I need to do, first of all, I need to create something on the admin panel, so admin can control that ad limit, like how much ad a user can watch a day, and that can be up to admin. So I want to create something so admin can control that from admin panel. Okay, so that is a simple plan. So for making that, so what I need to do, I need to create a database at first. So for making the database, I will create here a file, and that is the name, the file name is ads. Okay, the file name is ads, and I will create here a model, ads model. Well done. Here you can see I have created the schema, interface, and model. So what I need to do, I need to create some API, like for updating the default data. Okay, when the server is started, in each time I need to create a default ad setting. Okay, so for creating the default ad setting, I will just duplicate that function, default admin. You know, I created that function when I am doing creating that in entire mini app. Of course, I built that entire mini app on screen recorder video that have an entire playlist. You can watch it. So what I need to do, I just duplicate that function, and that is default ads. Okay, that is default ads control. If they are not have any existing ad control, then that should be used. Okay, let me modify that. Well done. So here you can see I have created the default ads function. So here, first of all, I try to do a query. So that is a find one query. That means if there have any existing data, so find it, and that means they have a ad control already. And if that existing control is not found, that means they are not have any ad setting. So you create a default ad setting where reward per ads mean after watching every ad, user get 50 point, and the daily limit is 10, and they have a ad ID, because you know the Monetag have a ad ID. So that's why I add that 3 option in this setting. So that means if they are not have any control, existing control, that will be created automatically. So if I registered my server npm run dev, and here you can see boring. Okay, here you can see this time they have already an admin, they have already a setting, but they are not have any ad setting, so that will create a new ad. Okay, you can see new ads created. Now if I restart the server, then this time you can see I already have a ad setting or this kind of something, already have an ad, yeah, this. Okay, with the ad ID. Okay, you can see that is the ad ID. So we are successfully done about configure the default setting. So now we need to create some API. What kind of API did we need to create? The API for updating that setting, because you know we need to add an option on the admin panel, so admin can update the add setting. So we need to create an API about something like the patch API for updating that setting, and another API for getting or for do a query for get the information from the server. Okay, so we can show the add reward, add limit, and add ID in our app and also on the setting. So that we need to do. So we need to create two API. One is for get and another one is for patch. Okay, nothing more. So let's do that. Well, so as you know, for making API in our this entire application, so as you know, for creating API, we are create a file for this entire Red Kingdom API or database. So as you can see, something like on collaboration identity, they have a huge file about on every API. Okay, so I create a file for every single API. So I did the same thing for add. So number one is get add.ts, that is an API, and another one is update ads.ts. Well, so let's complete the get API at first. So we created two files. One is get add.tsx and another one is update ads.tsx. But we need to create two more functions. So we have created file that not make sense or that not means that we are completed the API. So let's make the API at first. So what do we do? I create a function constant that should be get ads, and here I will create a function. Okay, there is a function. Now the function is a async function. I take two argument. One is rec mean request, and another one is res means response. Okay, response. Now here I use a try catch. Okay, now the try catch is I use a if statement and error instance of error. If error instance of error, then what do? You just return or do a response res dot send and formatted error, and you send here the status code is a bad request. Okay, bad request. Then the message is error dot message, and finally you don't need to send anything more. Now if I want to send a bad request, so therefore mark that as bad request. So what I do, I just change the status code or the status to bad request. Well done. So now here I simply return. Now here I will create a variable that is the ads, and I wait a bit, call ads model, then I find one data and nothing more. Then I send a response to the client send, and there is a formatted response. The status code is okay, and the message is add info retrieve. Okay, and the data it adds. Great. Now I return from this function. Now I need to export default get add. Okay, we are successfully complete one API. So let's move on the next API, which is update add. So for making that we can do the same procedure, but I like to copy that entire code for move faster. Now here I just simply rename the function name, which is update ads. Great. Now I don't need that add. I don't need to find. Okay, I guess I need to find. Yeah, I need to find the add at first. Okay, so here I can use transaction. So in case for using transaction, of course we need to define them. So that should be session, and for using session we need to use await, because that return a promise. Await mongoose dot start session, and here session dot start transaction. Okay, now if I come below here, I wait a bit, then session dot commit transaction, and finally I wait a bit, then session dot int session. Okay, great. Here I can copy that, and I come here, and here I need to abort the transaction if there have any error. Okay, abort transaction if there have any error. Great. So now I use here that session, then what I need to do, I need to update that. So what I need to update, did I is there have any variable that come from the body? Yeah, we need to define them. So let's take the body. so that should be rec dot body. Well, so I pass that above, and here I need what I need to do. If ads is not found, that means they are not have any ad. So what should I do? I throw a error. And of course when I throw a error from here, that return me, or that send me on the try catch, and try catch found the error, and that send mark that request at bad request. So if we throw here any error, that not makes sense. We are completely marked that request as bad request, or we are reject the request. For rejecting that, we need to use try catch. So makes sense, I guess. Makes sense that. So I guess you guys understand. So okay, if ad is not found, then I want to say to the client, ad is not found. Well, so then if ad is found, then you just go on the constant, and that is updating, and wait a bit, because that return a promise. Then ads model dot find by id and update, and this one is the ad underscore id, and the update information is come from body. Well, then the session. Well, so what I do, I just simply try to get the new or updated info here. Well, so for getting that, okay, when we did that, we are entirely update the all information. Now we need to pass the updated data. So I pass the updated data to the client. Okay, we are done the API updated and get it. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to create a routes. Okay, we need to create a routes, and let me create a route, or I can copy any file like that user. So here I change that name, routes name. This one is ads. Okay, and I change the variable name, that should be add routes. And here what I do, I mark the get is ads, and that taking something like record auth. Okay, I don't need to verify that. Then that is get it. Okay, get it. But for updating the ad, the method should be patch. And the path name also ads, and that can only updated by the admin. So I use here authentication admin. You know, when I create that authentication admin, that means only admin can do that operation. So I just use the function update ads. Then I need to delete that above all API. So now I clear all unnecessary input here. Okay, so now I need to use that add routes. Okay, so for using that, I can simply use here main route dot use this. Okay, now here I need to import add routes. Okay, so now we need to use that. Okay, where we will use that information. First of all, I like to complete the admin panel. Okay, so for completing the admin panel, let me create a page where have that kind of 3 input tags, something like daily ad limit, reward per watch ad, and ad id. So user can update this. So let me create this kind of a page at first. Okay, let me design that. Okay, well, okay everybody, there have a big news. The news is I have complete the design, and not only design, I have already make entire functionality for ad. Okay, so now I need to review it, because I have do that behind the scene. So if I do a refresh here, I did a refresh, you can see here that is loading. So let me wait for update the data or content. Well, here you can see that is the reward per ad and ad daily limit. But you guys can tell me, buddy, you have created a field for ad id, but you did not add any option for update it. Buddy, you have add a field for update the ad id, but you are not add any input field for update it from admin panel. So basically you need to understand how Monetag work. Monetag give me a function for show their ad, or we need to import their script on the HTML index.html. So we cannot do any query on the index.html. So in case I'm not get the ad id from server to the client, so here I need to consider I will delete the ad id from the schema. Yeah, I have deleted that, and here you can see now the admin can update reward per ad and ad daily limit. Okay, the user can watch 100 ad and he will be received 50 point for watching every ad. Okay, so that ad about near about 5000 point. So here you can see I have updated the schema or a model. Now here I create some more API. If I go on the routes, you can see there here I create 2 more API for user, and the admin only call that ad because I don't need that anywhere more, because when I am called that ad here I need some data more, like how much remaining, how much ad is the user watch, because we need to calculate how much is remaining, right? So for consider that I have created a dedicated another API which is get ad user, this function. So that API will first of all try to get some payload from the user. So that is something like cookies. So we decode the cookie and get the user information. Then we try to find that user. If that user is not found, then we throw a error. Then we do a query on server how much ad the user is watched today. Here you can see, and they have a time frame like start from 12 a.m. and in from 12 p.m. this kind of something. So that calculate how much ad I have watched today. Then that send a request, send a response to the client. I have watched 2 ad today. You can see completed 2, and that calculate the remaining like total ad minus completed, then calculate remaining, and reward is 20, and there is a symbol you can see. Okay, so I have created a dedicated ad for user get ads, this kind of something, and then there I have created another API for watch. You can say me, is there have any movie theater for watch? No. Basically when a user watch the ad, I need to do a post request, because I need to inform the database that user is just watch a ad, so give him 15 point. So I will add his account 15 point. Here you can see that is not hard coded anything, so that point or reward is taken from the ad model, okay, that can be updated from server, you know. So that how it's work. So I have dedicatedly create 2 more API. That's it. So what I change on the client, okay, so you can see here there's the ad management, and there have 2 input field like this and a button like this, and here I use a toast message, and when the responses come from the server, then I add the data or the response to the input field as default value. Okay, like if I go here and refresh here, you can see 15, and by default that is null, and after get the data from the server, that is the default value you can see here. Okay, then if I go on the ad page that we see on here, you can see first of all that do a query on the server, okay, and the server is give me the limit how much ad I have watched today, how much is remaining, I calculate that, and how much is the reward. Then I take the symbol from the context, okay, and there have another page for or component for show ad, because if I click here, you can see Monetag is give me a function that is my ad ID. If your ID, you change that ID to your ID, then you can show your ad here, and that call the API like watch ad, this kind of something. So that's all. If I made any changes, like a reward for ad is 50,000 point, okay, I just update it, and then I go on the home page, and if I refresh here, you can see there is 11,900. I refresh again the same value. I go on the ad, that is okay, you can see the reward is 50,000, and if I click watch ad, that is the ad that come from Monetag. Okay, I am waiting for completing 15 seconds, because that is a rewarded, you know, rewarded is the give me the best earning. So if I just click here, completed should be 3, remaining 97, and the point is 61,900. I get the point, but you can just think I get the point, and that's working. So, and of course you can see I changed the value from the server, that is 50,000, and this worked. If I change the limit to just 4, because I have watched 3 ads already, so I make that 4 the daily limit, so I can watch 1 more ad. Okay, so I want to show what happened if the limit is over. I want to show that. Okay, that is loading. You can see here that is loading, so let me wait a bit. So here you can see the total ad is 4, I have completed 3, remaining is 1, and the reward is 50,000. And if I watch 1 more ad, that is 15 seconds. Okay, I need to wait a bit. Okay, that is really painful job. Okay, if I click here and yeah, now the button is changed, that is limit over, that means the limit is over. Okay, so if I cannot click here, and if I go home page, that is the my current balance, so that is working. Okay, so you guys get that source code on this video description box, and of course there is a recognition link. You need to subscribe my channel for unlock the file or the code, and that is not paid. Of course that function code, that is not entire mini app code. Entire mini app code is paid. You can buy that from Code Canon. Currently that is not available on Code Canon. When I upload that source code on Code Canon, I will update the link on the description box, so you can check out. I don't know when you watch that video. If you're really interested to buy that entire mini app source code, you can contact me on my Telegram and you can buy that today. So that in this video. See you on any other video. Till then, take care and make sure you subscribe that channel, please.